Look at a clock. Now ask yourself this. Who died and made Clockwise the boss? Seriously, the hands could go the other way. The numbers would still work. You'd still be late for everything. So why does every clock on Earth turn in the exact same direction? Turns out the answer is 3,000 years old, involves a stick in the ground, and has absolutely nothing to do with clocks. There's no law of physics that says a clock must go this way. Gears don't care. Springs don't care. You could build a backward clock right now, and it would keep perfect time. And yet, Tokyo, Toronto, your wrist, your microwave, same direction, everywhere. That's weird, right? Worldwide agreement on anything is basically impossible. We can't agree on paper sizes. We can't agree on which side of the road to drive on. But clockwise? Total global consensus. Why? Because we copied someone, and that someone was standing in the sun 3,500 years ago. Before clocks, people told time with the most advanced technology available, a stick in the ground. Here's how it worked. Sun comes up, stick casts a shadow, shadow moves. You mark where it falls every hour. Congratulations, you just built a sundial. It's basically a clock made of dirt and daylight. Now, and this is the bit that matters, the people who built the great early sundials in Egypt, Mesopotamia, Europe, they all lived north of the equator. And in the northern half of the world, the sun does a very specific thing. It rises in the east, slides across the southern sky, and sets in the west. Which means the shadow does the opposite. It goes west, swings north, ends east. Follow that arc with your finger. West, north, east. That is clockwise. The shadow drew the circle first. We've been copying its homework for 3 millennia. Fast forward to medieval Europe. The first mechanical clocks appear. Massive, clunky machines in church towers, probably unreliable, probably loud. The clockmakers face a question. Which way should the hand go? They don't overthink it. They just copy the clock everyone already knows, the sundial. Same circle, same direction. Done. The habit sticks. The machines spread. And the shadow of a stick becomes the global standard for time itself. Imagine being that first clockmaker. You make one design choice because that's how the old thing worked, and 700 years later, 1 billion people are glancing at their wrists and following your lead. No pressure. But here's where it gets wild. Remember, this only happened because those clockmakers were in the northern hemisphere. South of the equator, the sun crosses the northern sky, which means a sundial's shadow sweeps the other way, anti-clockwise. Let that sink in. If the first mechanical clocks had been invented in Australia or Argentina or South Africa, clockwise wouldn't exist. Your watch would run backward. Clockwise as a word wouldn't mean anything. You'd say counterclockwise and people would nod like that was normal. And here's the proof that this isn't just a thought experiment. In Prague, there's a famous clock with Hebrew letters that runs anti-clockwise. In Bolivia, the clock on the National Congress building was deliberately reversed. They literally call it the clock of the South. Both keep perfect time, because clockwise was never a rule of the universe. It's just a shadow. From one half of the world, still turning. So the next time you glance at a clock, or your phone, let's be honest, you're not just checking the time. You're watching the ghost of a sundial, drawn by the sun, copied by medieval clockmakers who couldn't be bothered to innovate, carried onto every wrist, every wall, every screen on Earth. That little clockwise sweep? It's a 3,000-year-old habit you never knew you had. Now you know why clocks go clockwise.